hello from my friend's apartment. Check this thing out. The 3DS has always been one of my favorite systems ever. I got the original one when it first came out in 2011, and then I recently modded it and replaced the battery. But now that I'm a grown-ass man, the little thing doesn't fit in my hands anymore, so I went out and bought this new 3DS XL off of Facebook Marketplace. And then I proceeded to mod it in an IHOP, which made the rounds on Reddit. So then I needed to find another 3DS family system to mod so I can milk it for content. Enter this thing. I never quite understood the 2DS. I mean, I understand that it was meant as a cheaper 3DS for children under 7, not to mention that children under 7 shouldn't look at the 3D screen, it might hurt their eyes. So the idea of a 2D 3DS makes sense, but what I mean is, I never understood the form factor. Sure, it's cheaper to make it this way, but it kinda defeats the whole point of a DS. My favorite thing about my 3DS is that, unlike a Switch or a Steam Deck, you can just fold it and put it in your pocket. This thing might fit in your pocket if you're a guy, at least, but otherwise it just doesn't quite make sense. Nintendo caught on to this with their successor, the new 2DS XL. But never mind that, check this out. It's old, and it's virgin. Now, this is not my 2DS, but the person who owns this has given me permission to mod this for them, and if I had known this was going to be the case, I would have brought all my film stuff, so now I'm borrowing some of their gear and space to do this, so sorry if this video isn't as shiny as my others, but anyways, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. Modding a 2DS is easy. In fact, it's so easy that you can do it in an IHOP, so I need to challenge myself. So can I do it using only this? I know that it's possible on a phone like an Android, but there's no documentation about if an iPhone can do it, so let's find out. Luckily, since the version on this 3DS is old enough, this will be easy, because my iPhone just needs to paste some files on it, and any phone can do that, especially if it has USB Type-C. So this should work fine. So let's get right to it. I'm going to consult the trusty old 3DS hacks guide and download some files. And then I'm just going to move into the SD card and open it in 3DS Music, and should be fine. Of course, the most important piece of hardware for this is going to be this USB Type-C dock here, which has a SD card slot, and that'll be perfect for us. I'd like to point out that the reason that this might work is because all we're really going to be doing is moving files to the SD card, and just about any device that can hook up to an SD card reader can do that. But because I'm running this firmware, this works with just the utilities built in. The latest version of 3DS firmware is still exploitable, but if you have an older generation 3DS system, you'll need a device running these operating systems to run an exploit script. Notice, no iOS. There's ways around this, but they require you to own specific games. So do keep this in mind before updating your 3DS and trying this with only an iPhone. And we should be able to go here and open this. There we go, this is that easy. To proceed, press this. Bam, 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 bam. And look at that. It really is that easy to mod a 3DS. Or 2DS, rather. Okay, I'm gonna hit A. We got scary screen, what are we doing here? So, for the purpose of this guy, we're just gonna leave it at default. I'm gonna press start to reboot. Okay, so that actually worked. Apparently it's modded now. I think we should be able to hit this. Look at that, it's modded. So, I'm gonna run this script here that's gonna install all the apps, and then we'll be good. That was incredibly easy. I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a hassle, but I guess if you have a compatible version, it's fine. So now that we've installed custom firmware, it's now safe to update it. So we're gonna do that really quick, and then we can pick back up with running all this like firmware dumped and then setup script. So this should be pretty easy. Okay, so after spending some time in update hell, now it's up to date and I can set up the real-time clock and the sound firmware. So let's do that. We gotta open this menu, and then we gotta go to whatever this says. Miscellaneous options. Jump DSP firmware. Okay. And then nullify user time offset. Cool. And then now we do our little script thing and this thing will be done. Hold X and boot up the console. That's dark as hell. It's on. Go ahead. Now I push this button, and I gotta go to scripts and then finalize. Yay! Perfect. So that about does it. The answer, can you mod a 3DS using just an iPhone, is yes. Yes, it is. That was honestly easier than I was expecting. I guess I just got lucky with the firmware version I got. But I was expecting to take much longer. The hardest part was actually getting it to update, which is just what happens when you try to update these old 3DSs. My 3DS was the same way. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'm going to have 1 or 2 more videos out before the end of the year. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. There is a little rush, but I've been wanting to make this video for a long time just to answer the question. So, see you next time!